man. Let's ring it. We talk about it, man. Let's ring it. But you don't hear me. So what you're telling me is the music industry. Let's ring it. That's ringer. That's what we here for, man. We here to talk. Otherwise, man, bulisa kuya wonke umuntu okhoyo la we. Gama ngusibusiso kamlifi. You already know what it is, man. Silapha to ringa about the music industry in general. We do this each and every Wednesday, 7 p.m. GMT. That's Greenwich Mean Time. Otherwise, Silape Africa, Silape South Africa, and this is up on Koyo currently, and you are welcome to it. Otherwise, what we are here to talk about today is copyrights and record labels, what it means for all of these to exist within the music industry. But before we get into that, and before I get to introduce to you the guest that I have today, I want you to pay attention to where we are. We are on YouTube. That means this is a channel that needs your support. This needs you to subscribe. This needs you to be reminded each and every time these type of conversations happen so that you could jump in, because we are nothing without the practitioners. We are nothing without the audience. We are nothing without the artists, the event organizers, multimedia managers, different types of people who are practitioners within the music industry. Make sure that we keep the steam that we have, and this platform is for you, by the way. And so you can jump on the comment section as well and let us know what we need to do, what we also need to be part of in terms of conversations and dialogue. And you can just shoot us an email at let's ringer at Bangworks. I'm used to calling out my name to people who ask where and how to communicate with us. Otherwise, let's ringer at bangworks.co.za. That's where you can reach us at when you're talking about emailing, and you can reach us on Bang Entertainment on Facebook. That's where you can find us at. That's where we introduce everybody to who the next guest is and what we're going to be talking about. So you can also follow us there and let us know what we should be talking about. Otherwise, today, got a special show going on, man. I'm just waiting for my guest to come through, and then that's what we're going to be talking about. But before I introduce to you the guest, I want you to be ready on the comment section, because it would be nice for us to have an interactive session about what the music industry needs as far as record labels go, because we face a lot of artists where we are in the Eastern Cape, South Africa, that start going into the record label path when it comes to the business side of the music industry, thinking it is going to be easy, thinking that all it takes is for you to just have an artist, have access to artists, in fact, and just get them platforms that they can record the music at and take it to the world. And because everything is accessible nowadays, everyone thinks that it could just be done just like that. But it takes a lot of planning, it takes a lot of know-how, and I'm hoping that you out there are sharing this right now, sharing the link to let the people know that this is where it's happening at. This is where we're going to be talking about how all of this should be structured. We're going to be hearing from someone I respect a lot, and I'm hoping that he jumps on quickly, because been waiting for quite a minute for him to just jump in, but he's just struggling with the network because he's based in Botswana. Botswana is a neighboring country here in Africa to Africa. It's just few close nyana kilometers away, but it's not like that, of course. But the brother, whom is by the name Seabelo Modibe, is a founder of the record label called Total Music Group. He's been doing a lot of things on the background, but I'm hoping we're going to hear from him soon to let us know what he's been doing. Otherwise, there's a lot of things that he has been pushing at the background, behind the scenes. His profile is very much long, and I would not like for me to go over that because it's going to take a lot of unpacking to do. There's a lot of things that we wish we could go there, but we would go to, but I don't wish we could go there because this is not that type of show. Just waiting for him though. I wish you could just go up on Facebook. Check him out. He goes by the name Seabelo Modibe, and just read on his preview profile. Just preview his profile there, and you can also check on LinkedIn as well for you to follow up on him and follow his moves professionally. That's where most people link up at to talk about these type of things. Otherwise, Ikhotmane has been at it for a very long time, and Namhlanja, I wish we could engage him about what we know as the the record companies, the record labels, because there's a lot of artists that go into the space as zikhala. So we need to understand what happens in there. We need to understand how things are structured in there. We need to understand how you, as the one who wishes to take that route, because we had such a case up at Eastern Cape Lawe. I hate using this example oko, but it's the only example that is relevant to abantu, especially those who come from the era of the 90s. They would very much know about istory sika but KK uba ukoko godlo. La Hotman Leia did this when we, as the upcoming people away in the art scene, were not aware how it's done, and he did it at a level whereby in mainstream yasejozi yayisiza apha to connect with him. It wasn't him going to a Josie only, but they were coming through this side as well, which is what we would like to achieve in this day and age, whereby artists, ne industry experts, ne institutions of the industry lawe come to the Eastern Cape to invest and collaborate, not only to just pick talent and make it available to the mainstream when it's broadcast or exploited only in Josie based institutions and all of that, you know. So let's keep the dialogue going. Let's keep it coming. I'm hoping that Ikhotman is not struggling with network. If not, if he is not available, we will have to find other means to talk about the music industry and the record labels as well. So I hope that you just jump in on the comment section and kickstart the dialogue, because let's ring. I was avoiding me ranting about this way because izawuba ngathi ziways zami kanti for me to try to get abahlali on board, it's just me trying to say into yobana abantu mabayive lento from different people and understand that it's the industry, it's the way things work. And so I'm hoping that you can hear that from a different perspective, a different way of doing things, from ukubona into yobana eBotswana umzekelo yenziwa njani, eSouth Africa where are we at, ii-solutions ezidingekayo zifuna ntoni and all of that. So just let me know in the comment section if ikhona industry expert you wish also we could call up next, because as conversations zonke, they are meant for you to experience, they are also meant for you to grow from. And so it would not benefit us if we would not hear you say that this is what we want and this is how we see things going. And so zonke ezwe, if you were to check them, angles, and if I focus only on the angles that I am aware of, I will miss a lot of the information that is supposed to be distributed to the public and the community, you know. So the industry on its own, it benefits by us participating in it. And so we need to be engaging each other on what needs to be there, what is working, what seems not to be working, what is the problem, how can we solve the problem, and all of those. So just let me know. You can check me out on Facebook as well. I will entertain questions from there, but they won't show on this. I will have to read from the other screen and let people know how this is going from the comment side on Facebook. So just go into Let's Ringa's page, which is on Facebook, called Bank Entertainment. Shout out to them for sponsoring everything that we're doing here. Shout out to them for making us look nice as we are. Yeah, man. Otherwise, you can check me out on Facebook as well as Sibusiso Mulifi. And so if you've got any suggestions as as far as everything that is happening regarding your wishes when it comes to Let's Ringa, you can shoot me an email to letsringa at bangworks.co.za. Seems like our brother is struggling out there, so we're gonna have to find another way to keep this going. So reach out to us, let us know in the comment section if 5 more minutes we have no content on the comment section, we have no engagement from him as well, we will have to reschedule this episode for another day. But as far as the content goes, we have the entire time to discuss what we wish to have here, what we want to happen. Otherwise, Let's Ringa as a platform is a platform for us as practitioners to explore angles, to explore what we wish to establish as a music industry in the Eastern Cape. What does it need? How do we play the roles we are supposed to? What are those roles? So yonke lento ixhomekeke kuthi into yobana ima njani and isima nje, ima for ixesha elingakanani, because sustainability is a long of it. It's a need for us to actually think in that manner, for us to plan ahead of into yobana iyenzeka le way already eJozi, and how did it happen? Iyenzeka le way kwiindawo ezininzi, how did it start? So if we are thinking about iway ezinjalo, we are going to plan for sustainability as well, because we will start identifying into yobana phaya ifeyliswa yintoni, kutheni le nto ingazange ifike kule level within ixesha elithile, because technology ngoku allows for zonke ezi zinto to happen quicker. And so we need to be aware of into yobana how can we make technology our friend for us to say into yobana le way ngoku iyakwazi uba ibonakale. Just getting word from Seabelo saying that he is now close to logging in. So I'm hoping that everything will appear in just a second. Let me just attend to him and I will be back soon. Talk about it, man. Let's ring it. Talk about it, man. Let's ring it. But you don't hear me. So what you're telling me is the music industry. Let's ring it. Talk about it, man. Let's ring it. Talk about it, man. Let's ring it. But you don't hear me. So what you're telling me is the music industry. Let's ring it. Yeah, man. Seabelo is still struggling to get in, but he is on his PC. He is trying to get in. Otherwise, Let's Ringa is a privately curated program, so we don't mind waiting just a bit longer for us to get him. We will get that hour and we will try to edit it to be for a later consumption as far as the people go and the audience. So this entire section whereby I'm just dialoguing with you, trying to find out if everything is how it should be, trying to find out if everything is as it should be in terms of what guests we bring in and who we are trying to get this information from. So do shoot us a message or an email at letsringa@bangworks.co.za and we will try to get that person on so that we could just discuss with them. Otherwise, the man we've been waiting for is finally here. Seabelo Modibe, let's welcome you, my brother. How you do?
Yeah, man, I'm good, and you?
No, I'm all fine, man. I'm all good. You've been struggling to get in, I see.
Yeah, yeah. Eish, but it's all
Yeah,
good up here now. We didn't.
yeah,
I hope
yeah.
a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah. I'm grateful that you're here. We've lost a few who came and went out, but I'm hoping that it will get later traction for those who maybe have come through late. Uh, Otherwise, how is it, man? Where you are right now? How is it going there?
No, man. I'm in Botswana. It's going very, very well. The industry is back. Especially from a live side, live eventing side. Botswana is
Nice,
really
nice.
big in that space. We're not really big in terms of the record sales, business, because we don't have established labels, or we don't have like really big, but we've got like a lot of, like, we've got a very strong live music circuit around here. Like, I think there
Cool.
was a show with Makazi 2 weeks back. It did about 15,000 people. One of the biggest
Mm,
local artists just staged another one at the stadium. People are saying it's like it had 20,000 people. So
nice,
like,
nice.
shows have started to pack up like really nice, and I think it's really good for the promoters and really good for the artists as well.
Mm, mm. You know, when I heard your name first come up in the circles of the music industry, I wasn't aware that you're from Botswana, and it's because of the impact you've had here in South Africa, man. And people don't recognize the amount of work you've put in here in South Africa alone, let alone back home at Botswana. So just please give us a brief intro into who Seabelo is and what he has done within the industry as well.
Yo, I came into the industry when I was relatively young, man. I was 21, 22. It was around
Nice.
2002 or so. So I've been around for the past 20 years. So I
Mm,
got
mm,
introduced into the music industry by the late Double HP. So he had come to Bots with his mom for a choral event, and we linked up and we set up a label together called Lekoko Entertainment. And it has been an upward and upward for me. Um, so we did everything and anything that WHP did together. But
yeah,
I'm more
yeah.
a behind the scene type of guy. I'm not like really in your face type. I've just started the speaking thing because my friend from the KZN in Bezos Pay invited me to speak. So people really liked my bluntness, and my thought like traction. So
Yeah, yeah.
so yeah. So then after Jabba passed away, I set up a new label, a new company called Total Music Group.
Mhm.
Because during I think I started working on it during lockdown, like on a serious note. So during lockdown, I realized that a lot of artists were making money from the internet. People were making
Mm,
money through merch and stuff like that. So I started to study American companies like United Masters. I started to study 3000 Entertainment, by Leo Cohen, and Kevin Lyles, former Dev Jibs. So I realized, nah, man, you
yeah,
know what? I think the market needs that particular one-stop shop, but I'm gonna start doing it at home, because home is home ground. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
set this company up. It's a label. I provide advisory services to different personalities. I also do eventing. I've got a company called Events Lab. So I went around pitching a couple of ideas to different people. Um, I went to DJ Fresh first. He's my client now. I said, look, bro. I realized that what in SA, like, there's this whole feel. Like, come, let's work back home. We set up Big Dog Productions. So I'm doing like advisory services for him. We're doing some work. You'll see a couple of projects that are coming up in the coming weeks. Me and him. Through my eventing company, we managed to acquire the rights to do the Botswana Music Awards. I'm currently setting up the label in Joburg because Joburg is the melting point. Um, I'm talking to various people to distribute for me. I'm talking to the Orchard. I'm talking to different people. For me, I'm looking for the label side of things. I'm looking for unique talent. I'm not looking like
Yeah,
for that hot guy, hot I'm a piano guy that everybody wants. I'm looking for somebody that's like
sure.
really unique but really
Hmm.
commercial. I like somebody that I can monetize. And like I'm saying, I'm trying to
Mm,
also keep what I'm doing to myself. Because I don't believe in this whole major thing, record label thing. No matter what the artist is bringing, I'm not gonna sign artists and own. My business model is based on like artists owning their rights. Like I don't want artists to become slaves of labels. Even Jabba was an independent. Like Oko, we owned all the masters. So Total Music Group will be more like a platform. And what will happen is that if you're an artist, we will invest in your master, like really, like pay the producer, and you would pay us back, and you get your master back. Like once you've paid us off, you get your master back. We'll do the marketing. We'll share the profits together.
mm,
Many
mm,
people are
mm.
saying like what I'm doing is a ridiculous way of doing things. Like I'm not gonna make money. Like
Yeah.
I believe an artist believe that they've got a good deal. They'll work their socks off.
Mm, mm. You know, you reaching so far ahead from where I want us to go at first, because before we get to that point of how the money gets in and how the masters are structured, the copyrights behind all of that, the negotiations behind of all of that, I think we should start first. Exploring for the novice, the people who don't know what basically this is, because we get confused a lot with industry jargon and phrasing as practitioners. Maybe in this instance, the proof is in the pudding. So let's ask first record labels. What is a record and what is a label? So that people understand that how you are structuring total music as a label, yet you say you don't want to sign people based on not acquiring their masters. So if you could understand, if you could make us understand what is a record and what is a label first.
So, so a record like the sound recording is that song, or
Yeah.
that EP or that album. The label like is like the vehicle, is like the machinery, is like it's supposed to be the machinery anyway, but it has not
Hmm.
become a machinery. It's like a fucking liability to artists right now. So that's why I'm just so pissed off at just record labels and just indies and stuff, because they've turned musicians and artists into like free slaves of international companies. Like there's no
Mm,
like type of ownership of any sort. Like artists are just out there putting out the music and fighting to stream a million songs, and it's like for
mm,
me it's like working in a mine. So I'm trying to like come up with ways where my artists will make money quicker, smarter,
mhm,
easier, and all the time. I've not figured it out, but I think I've got an idea. So
mhm, mhm,
the old label, like the old model of a label was like, yeah, we discover the artist, we sign the fucking artist. Oh, sorry, we discover the artist, whether on the internet or on the radio. So we pay the studio, we pay the producers, we pay the sleeve, we pay everything, and then we own the master. And that artist like gets like what 9%, 8%, 7%. For me, that's bullshit.
mm.
Yeah, for me, that's bullshit because it means this artist will never make money from the music. What can you do with
Yeah,
9%
yeah.
or 10%? You know,
And for those who wish to own labels such as yours, I hear you are explaining how Total Music Group is structured, and I hear you talking nothing about owning a recording studio. So there are those who hear the word record label and think that putting the best forward would be starting up a recording studio. So granted, yeah, the studio is a label's way of furthering the agenda, but is it a wise move for one to own a studio as a startup, especially?
No, the cost of owning a studio are ridiculous. For me, if you've
Mm,
got that guy in the hood that's got beats and that's got a setup, you could partner with him. Then they become your production hub.
mm,
They produce
mm,
stuff. If you make a good team, um, you'll go. It's like Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. Warren G brought Snoop Dogg to Dre. He was a good lyricist. Dre had the production acumen, and for me, the keys in partnerships, and smart partnerships. So if you've got the resources, then you can set up a record studio. These days, man, a studio is nothing. You can even record yourself from a laptop.
mm,
So
mm,
you don't need like the physical brick and mortar thing and partitioning and stuff. I mean, during the Grammys, I saw some artists recording in a bedroom, like with a small mic on a computer. So yeah, for me, like you don't really like need a like an out and out studio like as big as SAB studios and stuff. Like, you don't. You just
mhm,
need a
mhm.
facility where you can like really record yourself and get the best quality sound. You know, I mean,
True,
Sister Bettina
true.
was not even recorded in a brick and mortar studio. It was recorded in a party over a mic and a recorder. It became the biggest national song. So for me, like it's about producing quality. So whichever way. So if you are like you don't have money for a recording facility to build it yourself, you can partner with the guys that have it and give them a share of the royalty from the sales of the
Mm,
records. That should be the
nice.
starting point. Yeah.
So, with the abundance of equipment and knowledge about the processes, then how is it relevant for someone who starts up in this digital era to know about how things were done in the analogous ways? And would that make them compete better in this digital age?
Yes or no? To be honest, like really, what you need to know is you need to know where the industry is at. You don't need to know where
Okay.
the industry was in 1985. I mean, how it's going to help you. So you need
Mm,
to know where the
mm,
industry is at right now. For me, although I believe streaming is a scam, you cannot do anything
mhm.
with it. So you need to go, you need to, you need to go to Tidal, or you need to go to Spotify. You need to go to this Apple, this online stores, and they're gonna like really cut your head off. But you need to know how you're gonna make money out of it. I think that's the most important thing.
So you think all of these platforms are unnecessary?
They are necessary because they're retail outlets. They don't pay as much as a CD. That's why I hate them. But what can I do?
Sure, sure. But you are making moves, and I think that's the startup way of trying to do something about it, and you are doing it differently, which is something which I think is most important for you to change the scene. And you say now you have to know where the industry is at for someone to actually be competitive, regardless of what he has and what he has access to. How do you study what the industry positions itself as and where it positions itself at? How do you study that? What do you look for and where do you look?
I think the first thing that you must do as a person, man, you must look for mentors. You don't need a physical mentor that you can go knock at your door. Let's say you love Leo Cohen, right? Google Leo Cohen every day. Listen to their interviews. Pick what you want on your notebook. You know, see what type of moves that maybe you like maybe Vusili or Lindelani Mkize. Go on YouTube. Check out their interviews, whether on radio and stuff like that.
Nice.
I mean, go into their Facebook profiles and stuff. If you hear that Lindelani will be on Ukozi, make sure that you're on Ukozi. Make a call, ask a question. That is the only way you would learn. You can only learn, from following people who are in the industry and see what type of moves they're making, and also
Mhm.
having a plan. I always tell people that if you don't have a plan, like you need to first you have a plan before you can just have an idea. If you come up with an idea and you don't have a plan, like you're really, really screwed up because then you won't be able to execute that idea. So you need to like say, look, this is my career. This is the plan that I have. This is how I'm gonna move, you know, because ideas are generated on a daily basis and on a moment basis. So once you come up with an idea, you see how you fit it in your plan. You know,
mm,
that is
mm,
why
mm,
every business has got a business plan. You know, any organization has got a strategic plan. For me, you got to start with having a plan. Like you need to like if you've got a career, like if you're an artist, come up with like a 2, 3, 4, 5 year plan. You know, and
mm.
plot it. Like on the first year, this is what I want to achieve, and this is how I'm going to achieve it. You know,
Nice,
second year, this is
nice.
what I'm going to
Uh,
achieve.
mhm,
Yeah, I'm saying like you need a plan, like you need to put it there. You know, you need to have a vision board. You know, you need to have a notebook. You need to take notes. You need to go out there. You need to knock doors. You know, but you need to be
nice.
able to have something to sell. The most important thing. What are you selling? You need to have something, a product or service to sell. You know, if you don't have
Mm,
something to
mm.
sell, then what the fuck are you doing in the business? You need to move out and allow those that to have got something to sell it. You know. Sorry, man, I swear a lot. You know.
No, no, it's all good. It's all good. It's a free platform. We are here to understand, and so if it frustrates you, then vent out, bro. All means.
No, it's not
Uh,
frustrating me. I'm just saying, like, if you've got nothing to sell, like, you need to move out of the space and allow those who've got something to sell. You know, you
yeah,
can be
yeah.
like, always be like that guy that's hogging the sport, and you know, you got nothing to offer. Yeah.
News currently trying to understand the industry and where it's at. We get flooded with articles of artists buying back their masters, selling their catalogs, and more of such. So please explain to people who don't know the process of signing onto a label and why it is rare to hear artists negotiate a deal that sees them owning their masters. And I hear it's something that you are trying to change. So maybe perhaps understanding how it is done currently, we will better understand what you are trying to change and why it's important for you to change that.
Yeah, the model of the old record company like was based on investing in sound recordings. You know, if you look at Gallo, right now they've got the biggest South African music catalog. You know,
Mm,
because they're paying the producers, they're paying the studios, and they're paying everybody else. So they own all that music, you know, in millions. And even if they don't sign any new artists, you know, they still eat from publishing, they still eat up from streaming rights of that catalog. They still manipulate that catalog, exploit it, remix, and do whatever they want. For me, I don't think there's anything wrong with selling your catalog. I mean, if you've got like a big catalog, and somebody's gonna come and say they're gonna give you 500 million, I'll sell that catalog and go and create new music, you know, that I'll own. So there's nothing wrong
true.
with it, you know. Like if
Mm,
you're Kalawa and you've got that, and somebody comes to you and say, "Look, we want to buy their entire catalog, and they're gonna give you 500 million rands," I'll take 500 million rands and I'll go and sign new artists and create a new catalog.
nice, nice.
It's just a
So
business move. It's nothing personal. For
yeah,
me,
yeah.
for me, my problem is that record companies seem to like the old model of record company, like they don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like they like, or they're waiting for something to happen on radio. If they hear a big song, they start calling, "Hey, who's that artist? Who's he signed to?" Oh, okay, yeah. So they've lost the plot, man. Like they're not out there. They're not like, you know, if you're an A&R or you want to start a label, you know, if Casper tweets something that's controversial, there'll be those artists that are jumping on that link or on that tweet, like they're throwing their links there. Please sign me. I've got this song. If you listen to those links, there's some dope artists there.
Mm, mm,
There's some dope artists there. There'll always be one or two guys that are dope in there.
mm, mm.
So for
So
me,
mhm,
like you were asking, what happens with record companies that they identify you as an artist from wherever. That's an artist deal, right? They invest in
mhm,
your recording, they invest in your or your sleeve and everything, and they own the thing. But other intelligent artists, what they're doing, they're paying for their own recordings, and they're going to a record company and licensing it to them, like borrowing them the record for maybe 2 3 years to exploit, and then they return back the master after 2 3 years, or when the contract ends. But for me, that model of a record company is dead. Like, if I can't come to you to provide me with a full on service, like you're just that company that's trying to take me to, if let's say you're a record company and you're trying to like sign me, uh just to like distribute me, why can't I go to CD Baby or go to the Orchard or in groups that I can make 80% instead of 9% or 10% or 25%?
mm, mm,
If I've built a fan base, like right now, a lot of these young kids that have built fan base, you find that I've got 20 35,000 followers on Twitter, 10 25 30,000 followers on Facebook. And I don't really think that if you've built like a fan base, you really need like to be signed by anybody. You can go direct to this DIY platforms and distribute your music there. Get somebody to get a publishing and somebody to help you with the publishing and stuff.
mm, mm.
I think
So
the old model of a
now,
record company is like dead. Like I don't call myself a record company.
mhm, what do you operate as
You know,
then?
just
My
like
next
I
question
think
was
two
gonna
three
be
months
like,
ago, Alicia Keys released a statement like after 20 years. Yeah, I was
okay, I
saying
think we
Alicia Keys released a statement saying, "I just dropped my last master with Sony. After 20 years, I'm now an independent artist." Did you see the statement? I was like,
nah,
"Wow,
I
man!
didn't.
Imagine what would happen if Jay Z was to be an independent artist and distribute through CD Baby." And Nas is already an indie, like he's distributing through the Orchard, through Mass Appeal. Like he's not signed to a Sony or a Universal. Yeah, there might be a deal behind the thing, but it's all going there. It's all going
Mm.
there. I just think that
So
big record companies will just become
so what
these guys that have catalogs.
so what do you think as independent artists we need then if we don't need the record label for such?
It's not really an independent artist. There's nothing called an artist is always independent anyway. It's just for me the whole thing of independent and what is just hyped up, right?
Mm,
If I've got my own business, I'm independent. I'm the director. I'm the managing director. I call the shots there. It doesn't mean because I'm working with a major, I've lost my independence. So for me, like I'm saying, artists really need to know where the money is. They need to understand how things work, and I think that is where sometimes we get it wrong. I see there's a question there for a record label to make it in Botswana. Does it have to be in Josie? No. Like the internet, I'm talking to you, you're in Eastern Cape. Why should I be in Joburg? I mean, you can employ somebody in Joburg who's a plugger, who's a runner, to do sampling and plug in music. Look at this Lesotho guys, Ntate Stan and Malume Vector. Yeah, they're in Joburg and stuff like that. But you know what? They're working with a label in thing. There was that artist from Swaziland, Sense, Tiki 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 with that song. So there's that artist Diamond Platinums. He's in Tanzania, but his music is big everywhere. So for me, it's about collaboration. The music industry is now moving towards more like collaborations and stuff. You know,
mm.
you don't need to be here. I've got
Nice.
many people
So
that are in Joburg that are doing what I'm trying to do. So
mm,
why don't I just pay them, or we do a reciprocal deal? I do for them I do for them what I want them to do for me here, and they do it that side
mm,
for that.
mm. And that's how we grow really. And so how do you then keep up such a network? Where do you find these guys without going there physically? Because that's the challenge artists and practitioners in general in the Eastern Cape are facing. They are trying to get a hold of collaborators from Josie, from Botswana, from wherever else. But the challenge is where do they go and how do they identify such talent?
You are here right now. You've got a platform. They must be on this platform every Wednesday, right? That's the starting point. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because if somebody was speaking or was, presenting on this platform and they're interested in working with them, you're able to say, yo, because you know the character of that artist, yo man, there's this girl, she's nice. I think you gotta listen to her, give her the opportunity. Then I can say, yo man, I've listened to this artist. Maybe let me talk to Karabo and Shia, man. I think she needs a publisher. She's really good. You understand? It's like a it's like a trickle effect. So
Mm.
because we've got a big cycle around us, that we've built, and we are always able to pass the opportunity or shout out, to the next person. But
True,
they
true.
got to stay on the internet obviously to get the information. That's why we got the information. Obviously, the first time you saw me was on the internet. So they better stay on the internet.
Definitely, and you're touching on my next point because we as the platform Let's Ringa are trying to get the industry closer to the Eastern Cape and trying to get the information and other people closer to the Eastern Cape. And so we are meeting a lot of resistance from practitioners and potential collaborators from these places, from thinking they so-called big, they are hyped up as celebrities and whatnot. And so the resistance is about sharing contacts, it's about sharing and opening up the network. Is it something that is prevalent within the industry? Is it something that most people are afraid of doing, sharing contacts and actually opening themselves up as information uh, sharing people?
Yeah, I mean, there are people who are like that. I mean, I think it's very stupid to do that. For me, like, if you've got 5 cents and you put it in your hand, like, and you keep it and you take a bus from
Mm.
Joburg to Eastern Cape, when you unfold your hand, how much do you have in your hand?
5 cents still.
Yeah, if you've got 5 cents, right, on your hand, and you're putting it like this, and you're saying, guys, I've got 5 cents here. Can we work together to increase this 5 cents, right? And you're going from place to place and you arrive in Joburg, what is the likelihood of what is likely to happen to this 5 cent?
Definitely growth.
Yeah. So for me, I don't think. Look, man, there's nothing as great as plugging someone on. Let me give you a story. Like during the lockdown, like this girl's a friend of mine. We met at the conference. She's into artist management. She's in Joburg. She's got this artist called Mdova. Like she's done like the boy's done a song with Said Chill. It's nice. The label fucking him up. They're not shooting the video. This girl calls, hey man, we don't have money. It's been locked down. Please give us 10,000 rands to shoot a video for this boy. It can be do really me. So like I was like, yeah, man, I'll just pay for the video. Like for me, like I'll spend my money on something I love, even if I'm not benefiting. Whether it costs me 100,000, I'll give you a damn. If I love
Mm.
your craft, like I'll sponsor it for nothing. Like I'll not ask you for something. I think that's why I'm blessed. So I sponsored this video. Like it's there online. Like say Mdova feature research here. Like 3 4 months the line, I'm sitting at home, man, because I'm following this guy on Instagram. Like they're producing this smash of a hit called Mlando. And I'm
Mm.
watching this boy like, yo, man, I'm like a proud dad. Like, I'm like, yo. Now, what are they doing? They keep on sending messages for advice, like, yo, we got this song. People are calling. The label is calling us back. I'm like, no, fuck those guys. Don't go back to them. Who else? Now, I'm advising them through the manager, do this, do this. And you know what? I've never met this guy. Like, I'm going to meet him only like, I think next week or so. And he's very happy that, you know what, a stranger from nowhere helped him. For me, like,
Mm.
if you've got talent,
Mm.
man, like for me, like if somebody's talented, like really talented, like I'll invest in them. But they need to have the right attitude. It's just
Nice,
about the attitude. Sometimes it's not about coming from Eastern Cape. You need to have like a positive vibe, a positive attitude towards your career. I
nice.
mean, I like for example, I would like artists that are like on a style like Zahara, Msaki, and stuff like that. Like I think that's the next big thing.
mm,
That whole
mm,
soul in your language, like that Xhosa thing. I think
mm,
that's the next big thing in South Africa. You can get like, I mean, if you can imagine, if you can get like a male Xhosa guy who can sing like these girls.
mm, 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 mm. Nice. Now,
Because I
I'm
really, I
gonna
really, I
pitch
really, I
something
really
to
follow
you.
what's happening there.
Hmm?
I really follow trends there. Like I really follow the South African music and that's what's not happening and stuff like that. Because
Sure, sure.
although I'm busy here at home, like with a lot of projects, my vision like is to eventually set up an SA in 2023, like set up offices in Joburg, not because for me to be successful there, I need an office there, but because Joburg is the melting point, and I believe organically Total Music Group will have gained traction.
Mm, mm. No, definitely, it's taking
You know,
that path, and that's how I came to be introduced to it. Because last I heard, you had not established it, but now all I've been getting word about from your end is Total Music Group, Total Music Group, and so I think it's going towards that path, and that's why I'm gonna pitch something to you after the show, though, because I'm trying to get the network to be as powerful as it can be for people to share the information before they can actually go out and set up stuff. And so I'm going to talk to you about that. But before we close the show, though, I would like to get a word from you about how an ideal record label contract looks like to you and who gets to deserve the benefit of it. Who deserves the benefit from that ideal contract?
I think we need to understand that the record contract is a business agreement. So it's not about one person getting the best deal and the other one getting the bad end of the steak. That's why I
Mm,
hate the old model because like the artist will get the end of the steak and the label will get the big chunk. You
mm,
understand? That's why you've got like many talented people who have had big songs but are broke, right?
mhm,
For me, also, it's not only like because they had bad deals, but because of bad financial management, bad mentorship, bad business advice. So for me, like with Total Music Group, I'm not trying to create a label where like it's about percentages. For me, with my label, I'm creating something new where it's about us creating wealth together.
nice.
Because with my company, right, I've got a label. I've set up a film production. I bought equipment for film. I have an eventing company, so I can stage my own event. Eventually, I want to buy like big sound gear. So, if let's say I've got an artist and we want to do a tour, we just take our sound and we put it in a truck. We can go on the road. We
Mm,
want to film
mm,
the whole thing. We film it and we put it on the internet and we try monetize it. I'm also trying
mm,
to learn how this TikTok things work. But I'm not going to waste my time trying to learn how to monetize that. If I'm going to get somebody out there who knows how this thing, I'll employ them in my company and they'll come and work for me. For me, I'm not trying, or if they've got a company and they want to partner, I'll buy a stake in that company. So I'm not trying to like really like do everything. You know, I know my
nice.
limitations. You know, and I'm not trying to like be like a wholesale. And try like sell everything. I know my limitation. I know my strengths. So
Mm, mm,
I'm gonna with Twitter, with TMG. I'm focusing on what I'm good at, which is like the boardroom.
mm. Do you think that a strategy that works in Botswana can actually work the same way in South Africa, or you have to always modify a structure for geographical purposes?
Marketing insights and marketing research is very important. Market research is very important, and analytics.
Mhm,
You need to dig that up in the internet. There's always market analytics, market research. Like I'm saying, I follow the industry a lot in SA. What's happening? Who's doing what? Who's not doing what? How is he doing it? I also look at the structure of their businesses, who's releasing what, what's their label, what's the management company, who are they, who's managing who, what's their track record and stuff like that. So I'm taking it, I'm really doing a lot of research and just picking up a lot of intelligence, from the market. But I'm not coming in there to try to be the biggest thing or trying to be like, no, no, no. I'm just not trying to. I'm just coming there to just do business when I come there. Even with Jeb, I always told him, like, the most important is not to fight to be number one, right?
Mm,
The most important thing is to fight to be consistent,
mm,
and
mm,
deliver quality product all the time. If you fight to be number one, and then let's say people are praising you and they're calling you the king of Eastern Cape, one day there was gonna come another guy, then they call him the God of Eastern Cape, and you'll be
mm.
frustrated and angry because you've always wanted to be number one. I always tell
Sure.
people that you don't really. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't understand. I've never seen a company that is said to be the biggest in the world. Like they're like, this is the company that makes most of the money in the world. Like I'm still to see that. Like, yeah, I always see, this is the richest man in the world. Every time, like they're going up and down, like in this Forbes list.
Mm,
That's why I'm not
mm.
interested in that. I always tell people that, like, for me, I'm not really interested in being a millionaire, or being a billionaire. I'm interested in just creating wealth for myself and my family and for the people that I partner with. If we all live well, we don't go to bed hungry, and we've got even enough funds to the extent where we die, our next generations will never get poor. That's great. I'm not like gonna be going out and going to a government department and fighting there for 10 million every day. If I don't get this 10 million, I'm going around offering people bread now. Like, that's not me.
Sure, sure. And so, you are a big believer in collaborations, yet you are not looking for funding, proposed partnerships and whatnot. So you are the one who seeks to identify who you can partner with, but they have to be independent themselves. You look for like minds. Is it how you are?
Yes. For me, like, it's like the energy, man, Like, I know how to identify the guy with the right energy, like from seeing them. I've got that skill. Like, for me, I believe in collaboration. But it's not about me. I'm not the initiator of collaborations all the time. There are people that can come to me and say, look, Seabelo, come, man. Let's work on one, two, three, four. We've got this. Like, I like honesty and integrity in my deals. I want us to put our cards on the table. I don't like to work with people that are coming to me because they want something from me and they want to take, take, take. If I realize that I'm in that relationship, I'll dump you. I'm not the type of guy who does who will risk it. Like, no matter how hot you are, like, I'm not the type of guy who's gonna abuse himself by staying in a relationship that they're not happy with. If I'm not happy, I move out. That's me.
Nice, nice. So what advice would you give to an upcoming record label owner who wants to start something and scale it up to be where Def Jam say maybe is to where TMG wants to be at?
No, I think you need first of all to know what way. To be honest, you need to have a plan. Have a plan and follow your plan and your path. For me, like, if you're doing something and you don't have a plan, if you're doing something and you don't have a plan, like, that's a recipe for disaster. You need to have a plan. Like, from the word go, when you say you are setting up a record company, go into the internet, download a template of a business plan, set up a business plan, year one, year two, year three, put up budgets. Even if you don't have money, you can put a budget of 5 million for the business. And then sometimes, you need to, like, really make an appointment with your destiny. Like, make an appointment with success. Like, that, like, at year three, I'll be successful and I'll be staying in Rosebank. I'll be staying in Sentin. I'll be staying, in Cape Town. So for me, like, you got to make that appointment with your, with your destiny. Like, you need to make an appointment that day when you know that you'd have hit the jackpot.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, man. Seabelo, man, thanks for coming through. Thanks for hitting us up with this much information, this much needed information. I'm hoping that next time we would have a lengthier conversation and maybe pay you up with the likes of Mandla Maseko so that you can debate on the topics that made you uh, gain the recognition and the awareness of the people from the music in Bizo and the likes. So I'm really grateful for you coming through and imparting this knowledge, and hoping that you will impart some more in the near future as well.
No, man. Thanks for the platform, man. You know what? I always tell people, man. You lose nothing by being humble and imparting knowledge and sharing with people. You will never know what the next guy has for you.
Mm,
You
mm,
never know. You know what I'm saying? You never know. I'll never know what you have for me. So for me, like, I don't judge a person by a cover. I don't look at how you're dressed, and like, I always give a person a chance. Because you will never
mm,
know. You'll never know what a relationship can turn into.
mm,
Uh,
mm, mm,
I always like I a lot of people they always say, but I like to keep myself open to everything, and it's too risky. Like I always tell people that if I don't, how would I know? So I'm just grateful that you gave me a platform, man, and I hope we work out. We'll work on some stuff. But for me, man, I just want young people to understand that they can do and be able what they want. They can do and be they can do and be what they have to be. I think for a very long time, a lot of the young kids and young musicians have always believed that they needed some connection somewhere. Like, I think they must stay on the internet, build followers, build content, blow themselves up on the net. Megan the Stallion was like discovered on the net. That was Cardi B was discovered on the
mm.
net. Like, if you can dance, you can do everything, build followers, do this on your Facebook page and stuff like that, and push your content. Do that. Don't waste your time with people who are not responding. Also, people who are not responding to you. Don't be frustrated. Move on to the next one. Don't spend like 6 7 months chasing Seabelo. Like, if he's not responding, go to Cycle, go to Karabo, go to whoever will respond.
Nice, man. I appreciate you a lot for those, and I'm definitely gonna hit you up because soon we are starting a platform for people we have invited to start sharing outside of this platform, this YouTube channel, so that people can maybe feel closer to the industry, even though they can start their own. But whereas it's still not there yet, they can just feel closer to where people are actually moving and shaking things up. So I'm very grateful that you are open to sharing the information and sharing your contacts as well. For those who are willing to link up with you afterwards, where can they get hold of you, man?
Okay. I think for me, Seabelo Modibe, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, like, I respond. I respond. Like, I can't give my number is on my Facebook page, I think. I respond. You send me an inbox, I'll respond. Like, I'm LinkedIn Seabelo Modibe across all. I respond.
Nice, nice. Thanks a lot for coming through, man. I appreciate your time. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Okay, man. Thanks, my brother. Keep
Uh,
it 100%, man.
no doubt, no doubt. Otherwise, there you have it, folks, man. We ran a bit late, but yeah, the brother is from Botswana, and his connection might have been the problem. And there's a lot of things that are happening currently, and so we are not at fault. He is not at fault. We are just grateful that he came through and connected. And when he came through, did he not drop bombs? Did he not make you aware more of what the industry entails and how you can prepare yourself for more of these? And so I'm hoping that you will connect with him and connect with Let's Ringa as well. You can find us by email, let's ringa at bangworks.co.za. The works is with an X at the end. And so I'm hoping that you can also check us out on Facebook. If you're not able to send us an email, check us out on Facebook. It's Bang Entertainment. Sbusiso Kamlifi is your host for tonight, and I'm hoping that you at home will come back to this video and share it more and more and more. Whenever you see or hear such things about the industry, try to go to the internet, as Seabelo just said. Just research, educate yourself more about the things that you are interested in. And the key words from his last message were: make an appointment with your destiny, put it out there that you want to reach this level, and whenever you take those small strides and small steps, you are just going towards something you have already made yourself aware of. It's not something that you will just be surprised when it comes to you at that moment, so that you don't blow it, you don't fumble it, and you are just consistent with it. And that's another keyword that he led us into our destiny with: sustainability, consistency. That's how it's reached. Otherwise, Subusiso Kamlifi, thanks for tuning in, and I'm hoping that next week you will catch our next guest. Stay on Facebook, Bang Entertainment, to hear and see who is coming up next. Salute. Talk about it, man. Let's bring it.